Welcome to the channel, everybody, and the Minnesota Twins franchise on MLB The Show 18 as we continue the early season action here in year 3 of the series. And the Twins are off to a really nice start at 8-5, and they're going to take on the New York Yankees today in a 3-game set. I liked putting together last episode and focusing on the 3-game series, and that's what we have again today as the Twins take on the New York Yankees, who enter at 7-7. I thought it would be another good challenge for us coming off the series loss against Cleveland. New York has some good pitching, and we know they have power in their lineup as well. I knew it would be a good test for our young pitchers as Jose Berríos and Yadier Alvarez each had their turn coming up in this series. Berríos hasn't had the cleanest start to the year, so I wanted to see him hopefully start out well here against New York. We have a battle here with Berríos and Jacoby Ellsbury. 3-2, and Berríos misses high to walk the first batter of the game. Still trying to get that control taken care of for a lot of these young pitchers. He does get ahead of Michael Brantley, but then the pitch gets away from Garver, and then they rule it out of play, even though it never really went out of play there. So Ellsbury up to third base, and Brantley battling, fouling off everything Berríos throws at him, until he turns on a pitch and sends it deep over the right field fence. So the exact start we were hoping to avoid is what transpires here in the first. Berríos has a couple long at-bats, and they just kind of get away from him. And a lot of these at-bats took a lot of pitches. He does get the strikeout here on Chris Carter, but it was a 35-pitch first for Berríos. So Twins in the first, again leading off. We have Eduardo Escobar, as Charlie Blackmon, I believe, had the off day in this game. Escobar's been swinging the bat well, so he gets the chance. Then Miguel Sano works the count full, and he turns on one, sending it out to deep left, and that will tie the game here in the first. Number 4 on the year for Miguel Sano, and it's great having the power in this lineup that can quickly erase early game mistakes. Giving up 2 runs in the first is not ideal, but when you have our offense, you're not worried about that ruining the entire game. So the Twins tie things up, and we'll go into the second. Berríos getting another chance now, essentially a clean slate, as he gets that big breaking ball to get the strikeout. Then with 2 away, another deep drive. This one back to the left center fence. Rosario scales the wall but can't bring it back as the ex-Twin Trevor Plouffe takes Berríos out and makes it 3-2 New York. So bottom of the frame. Here's Josh Harrison, 0-2 count, and a pitch to drive right back through the middle. We want to see more offense from Harrison. He runs here on 2-2, and Escobar lines it into right. Harrison keeps going. He makes his way to third base, runners at the corners. And we go to Chris Jimenez as Mitch Garver gets the day off. Jimenez hits sharply past first base into the outfield to tie the game back up at 3. Plenty of offense here in the early stages as the Twins look to take the lead. Up the middle and stopped by Caprielin, who starts the double play to retire the side and keep it tied again. So neither pitcher off to a good start in this game as we go into the third. Someone trying to put up a 0, and it's not looking good here. Infield base hit, 2 aboard for the Yankees. No one down here for Berríos, and Carter through the right side, base hit, and they'll send the runner home. Yankees score in each of the first 3 innings. They make it 4-3. Runners at the corners here for first baseman Greg Bird, and Berríos missing inside with a changeup. Then a foul that evens the count, and away from Bird, low and away. Big strikeout, now 2 down for New York, and that brings up Starlin Castro. Second pitch of the AB is driven deep to left, and Rosario watches this one. Put 3 more on the board for the Yankees. It's 7-3, and everything has fallen apart here early for Jose Berríos. We do end up getting a few hits quickly in the 3rd inning, keeping the string of half innings with runs going. And then Eddie Rosario, with 2 aboard, sends it into the right center gap, and the Twins continue to score. That brings home another run, 7-5 Yankees. Even up 4, the Yankees couldn't get comfortable. 2 aboard still, and Escobar pops it deep first, and that is caught by Bird. But then Berríos had to come out of the game. And I've been wanting to see more of Fernando Abad and hopefully turn around his start to the season. here in the fourth, trying to get a 0 on the board as he gets the big strikeout of Jacoby Ellsbury. Neither team scores in the fourth, so let's go to the fifth. Now Chris Carter at the dish. 1-2 count. He'll chase the fastball. Nice job by Abad, settling the game down. Then he gets ahead of Greg Bird with 2 away. 1-2 lifted into left. There we go. 2 straight innings not allowing a run. Not supposed to be a big deal, but in this game it definitely was. Let's go bottom of the fifth then for Minnesota, as we'll start with Paul Goldschmidt. 1-0, and that pitch misses. Caprielin was able to settle down and get some extra innings for the Yankees, but does walk Goldschmidt here pretty easily. And then it's Miguel Sano, and he gets underneath this one. It's going back, way back. It's gone to tie the game. Just a towering home run. It looked like a pop-up. Instead, it's the second home run of the day for Miguel Sano, and it ties the game back up at 7. Watch the arc of this thing. It's incredible. The ball is not supposed to go that far when it gets that high in the air. 14 combined runs in just over half a regulation baseball game. Then you have Yunel Escobar with a runner at second. He'll drive it into right center. It's down for a hit. And here we go. The Twins take the lead. 8-7. After falling behind 7-3 just a couple innings prior. What a game here. And then a walk to Eduardo Escobar. Maybe the action is not over yet. Brewer coming in having a very tough inning, but a 2-0 grounder by Joe Mauer. And the Twins leave the bases full. Alright, they have a lead. What can they do with it? Tom Wilhelmsen enters. 0-2 count here. And that's going to be a strikeout on Trevor Plouffe. Nice job by the veteran cleaning up here in the 6th. He pitches into the 7th. 1-2. Big breaking ball as he gets Gene Segura to strike out, and he's not happy about it. They get to the red-hot Michael Brantley, who gets popped up into shallow center field. Harrison underneath it, and another scoreless frame put up by the Twins pitching. That was their 4th in a row. Let's go into the 8th. Buddy Boshears enters now, and there's another strikeout with that big curveball. All these Yankee hitters look so frustrated. Greg Bird with a man on first, sharply hit. Twins get one at second, and turn 2 to close down the 8th inning. Let's go into the 9th. We turn things to the new closer, Raisel Iglesias. 2 saves and 3 opportunities, looking for a big one here. Starlin Castro, who homered earlier, will strike out here with a high fastball. Twins continue to rack up the strikeouts, now 2 outs from victory. And Michael Saunders lines the ball into right. He's off to a strong start on offense this year. So the tying run aboard. Here's Trevor Plouffe grounding to Harrison, who has some trouble getting it over to second, but they get the lead runner, and Plouffe beats it out. So they have one last chance. Gene Segura, who's hitting only .211 so far, he grounds it up the middle, sliding play, and a nice exchange there to get the final out as the Twins win against the Yankees. Lots of offense early on. We saw each team score in the first 3 innings, and from then on, the Twins scored in the 5th, and those were the only runs. So I thought we might have like a 15-14 4-hour game here. It didn't get that out of hand, but it was still a pretty messy game early, but a lot of good offense there from the Twins, and it's nice to see them have the ability to win games like that. They're now 9-5 as we head into Game 2. Yadier Alvarez takes them out, and he's off to a decent start this season. The ERA has been below 4. Here's Segura leading off the game, up the middle, and Polanco at short makes a great spinning throw. Later, it's Chris Carter. Good changeup there, evens the count. Then the high fastball that clocks in at 95. A nice scoreless first there for Alvarez. For New York, they turn to Jordan Montgomery, whose first 2 starts didn't go very well. And he allows 2 base runners here in the first, but Miguel Sano grounds into a routine double play. So no score in the first this time, as Alvarez, again, the swinging strike on the changeup, and then the fastball. He and Barrios both have that great strikeout upside, and there it is on display. 2 of them here in the 2nd inning. Here is Michael Saunders, who entered the game hitting over 400, and he adds to that with a base hit the other way. 2 aboard here for the Yankees. They both advance a base, and then Plouffe jammed a second, and Harrison loses it here. I'm not really sure what happened. Those small adjustments can be tough for some reason, and we allowed 2 unnecessary runs. So the Twins fall behind again. But with 2 away in the second, we have Mitch Garver back in the lineup, and his offense continues to impress. That's absolutely where his strength is as a player right now. Then Buxton almost nails Montgomery. He sends it into center, and Garver races home. It's a run, and the Twins at least get something here, and it's great to see Byron being the one that supplies it. So after the unfortunate inning where the Yankees got 3 runs and they should have been avoided, they get a double here that beats the shift. So Alvarez trying to settle things down, and you see that pitch count already getting a little out of control, but a good slider there for a strikeout. With 2 away into center, Michael Saunders base hits. They'll send the runner home. Relay throw in time to get him out at the dish. Greg Bird got greedy, and the Twins saved the run. Good job again. Buxton started it, so I like seeing him make plays, of course. Top 4. We have some trouble here potentially. To deep left center off the bat of Segura, and the catch is made right at the wall. Thankfully there was that indent, because that's what saved that from being a home run. And Alvarez able to bounce back by nailing the inside corner with the slider. With 2 away. 1-0 count, grounded right to first, and the play is made. Twins keep it 3-1. Bottom 4, we have Joe Mauer again getting some playing time as he sends a ground ball into left. One of the trademark Joe Mauer hits going the other way there. And then it's Mitch Garver hitting 286 so far. 1-2. He pops up for the catcher, Gary Sanchez. Nothing here for Minnesota, as the offense did definitely get shut down more so in this game. Yadier Alvarez bouncing back despite the pitch count, getting some real quality time here against the Yankees. I thought that he had a really good game and those runs were unnecessary. He lasted 5, gave us 6 strikeouts, and did allow 10 base runners. So it could have been better, but I don't think it was bad. Bottom of the 5th, Montgomery's still in the game as he gives up a walk to Jorge Polanco. Charlie Blackmon back in the lineup today, and he grounds it past short into left. 2 aboard again for the Twins. With 2 away, it's Paul Goldschmidt. Lined hard into right, it's down for a base hit. Here comes Polanco. The throw up the line, and there is a run with runners at the corners now for the Twins. Can Minnesota tie the game? Miguel Sano, high breaking ball into right center. Down for a hit, and the Twins tie it up. Sano has to hold at first, but the Twins get what they were looking for. Can they get any more? Mauer grounding to third? Not this time. 3 apiece though here in Minnesota as the Twins battle back. We then turn to our bullpen, Tyler Duffy. 1-2 count, Chris Carter looks at the cutter, and the 2-2 he'll chase. Garver's throw a bit late, and he's not even close. So we bring in Trevor May to hopefully keep this thing tied. May has had some tough outings so far. We just want to end this inning. Some trouble there for Garver, but he recovers quickly, and the throw to third is easily in time to get the final out. That's one way to end the inning. We'll take it. Now in the 8th, runner aboard, but not for long. A double play turned here by the Twins as they go 4-6-3. With 2 down, Saunders strikes out. It's okay, he got his fair share of hits in this series. And now we go bottom 8. Twins hoping to break the tie. Will Smith enters, and Miguel Sano sends this into the gap, but it gets cut off. Next is Joe Mauer, who hit a lot of ground balls on this day, but not this one. Lined into left and down in front of Michael Brantley, base hit. That brings us to Rosario, who hits pretty well against lefties. He goes the other way as well. Back-to-back hits for Minnesota. They brought in the lefty to get some lefties out, and it didn't work. So 2 aboard for Mitch Garver. Line drive down the line and down for a hit. Twins take the lead. Garver hustles to second. and they'll hold the runner at third. 4-3 Minnesota, and again it's the young rookie catcher stepping in for Jason Castro, and while his defense is nowhere near where Castro's is, he's giving us another effective bat down in the order, and he's come through in each of these last couple episodes. 2 aboard, and here's Polanco. Down third, tough play to make. The throw from Plouffe, not fielded cleanly by Greg Bird, and the Twins get another run and turn it to Raisel Iglesias for the second straight night. 3 saves in a row, looking for a fourth. Soft ground ball. Garver misplays it. There's another one of those defensive miscues for him. So I do worry a bit about his defense. Tying run at the plate, it's Ellsbury. Lined into center, base hit. 2 aboard again, and now they want to dig for third, and they're going to get it. Good speed there for Segura. Iglesias needs to get some outs, and he works the count full. Michael Brantley showing good discipline as he walks, and the bases are loaded for Chris Carter, the designated hitter. Iglesias 1-2. And the slider swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Iglesias, now 1 out away. And here's Gary Sanchez behind the sinker. He falls behind and lifts it into right. It's going back, but it's not far enough. Caught on the warning track to win the game. The Twins take the first 2 from New York and ensure a series victory. These were some hard-fought games, and we had to get some big innings down the stretch. And these were victories I really felt like we had to earn, and this is helping us improve as a team dramatically. 3 hits for Garver, 3 hits for Joe Mauer. We have some players picking up the slack when our stars aren't out there hitting home runs. The Twins at 10-5 now look for the series sweep. I haven't seen them have much success against the Yankees in my lifetime, so I wanted to see us hopefully win all 3 of these. Dallas Keuchel against Masahiro Tanaka. And Keuchel, with an early base runner, they do get a stolen base. Again, I don't expect Garver to be the best at throwing out base runners. And then a deep fly ball here. Bird sends it way out there, and it's going to be tracked down by Buxton, no problem. So in this game, I expected a lot better pitching, especially early from these 2 ace pitchers. Here's Tanaka, who breezed through his first 2 batters, then a grounder by Goldschmidt. Just an 8-pitch first for Tanaka, and he comes away unscathed. How about the second inning? Dallas Keuchel, full count, and we have a deep fly ball slicing away from Blackman, and it gets down. A double here for the Yankees. This one is from Devin Mesoraco, as the Yankees have 2 really good catchers. 2 batters later, a base hit from Saunders, and that will bring home the first run of the day. Michael Saunders was a huge problem for us in this series. How about Aaron Judge? Haven't seen much of him as he lines out sharply to first base. Judge, by the way, has not developed very quickly in this series. He's like a mid-70s overall player. A potential, though. Top 3 then. Look at this throw that gets over Goldschmidt's head. Thought we had a nice defensive play there. Runner moves up to third base, and then a slow grounder up the middle. Yankees do a good job manufacturing some runs against Keuchel to take a 2-0 lead. Greg Bird, he'll strike out. Only 1 run charged to Keuchel. The Twins do allow 2, and that was our best start to a game in this series. How about Yunel Escobar? Let's go bottom 3 now, and the veteran drops this just in front of Judge in right. He reaches again. Then Rosario working the count full, making Tanaka work. And his patience is rewarded as he takes the slider outside, and the Twins get 2 aboard with nobody out. Charlie Blackmon moved down in the order, by the way, because his hitting just wasn't getting the job done. He thankfully beats out the double play to keep it runners at the corners. And then Rosario gets hurt. He ends up tweaking his knee. Wasn't a serious injury, but he had to exit. Then with runners at the corners, Buxton softly in front of the catcher, and they have only 1 play to make. So we do get the run. Not a flashy RBI by Buxton, but it does get us on the board. 2 on, 2 out. Goldschmidt, 2 hops to third base, and he's retired again. A quieter series here for Paul Goldschmidt after an amazing start to his Twins career. Let's head into the 5th, as these starters definitely showed why they are the aces of their staffs. There's a strikeout on Aaron Judge. Bottom 5, runner on for Minnesota, and Escobar trying to go up the middle. It gets stopped. Great play over at short by Segura. Like our other starters, Keuchel had to use a lot of pitches early in this game. At 91 here as he gets the grounder to second. Nice throw on to first. Twins get through the 6th, only allowing 2. Looking for more offense now. Goldschmidt trying to leave a mark in this series, but unfortunately he strikes out swinging. Miguel Sano next, and Tanaka throws a nasty splitter on the outside. And if you can consistently nail that spot, Sano really can't do much against it. I've seen so many swinging strikes in that exact area. We end up keeping Keuchel in for the 7th. And Judge puts this in the air, but it's caught by Harrison, who filled in for Eddie Rosario. Was supposed to be his off day. And with 2 down, grounded to third. Good throw by Miguel Sano as Keuchel makes it through 7 innings, not even throwing 100 pitches. Tanaka still in the game as well. Grounded to short, pretty routine you'd think. But Segura's throw offline as Garver ends up reaching E6. And they'll take Tanaka out of the game after that for Tyler Clippard, who has some solid numbers entering this performance. He leaves one over the middle, and Escobar gives it a ride. Way out to deep right, but it'll stay in the yard, caught by Judge. Josh Harrison getting some at-bats now as he turns on a breaking ball into shallow left center, down for a hit. Twins get 2 aboard, and we do have Garver reaching second, so they call on Will Smith, who got the loss in Game 2. And it appeared like he had not recovered from that loss, as these pitches were not very good, and Charlie Blackmon draws a very easy walk. Now, Blackmon was hitting 9th. Buxton moved up to leadoff. I wanted to try him there again. Grounder up the middle, and if you have any misstep, you're not going to turn 2. Even if you do it perfectly, you probably won't. Buxton ends up tying the game there with the ground ball. So 2 apiece. Escobar now to give the Twins the lead. Base hit into center. 3-2 Minnesota. All 3 games we started out playing from behind and had to make some comebacks. 3-2 now Goldschmidt. Lined into right field and Judge cuts it off. Not the same episode today for Paul Goldschmidt. In the 8th we turn things to Buddy Bo Shears, and this is not how we hoped his day would start. Here is former Twin Aaron Hicks rounding first, and he takes second. It's a double to start the 8th inning. All the Yankees want to do is manufacture another run. Good bunt, and they beat out the throw. Great job by Brantley. So Greg Bird has runners at the corners, nobody down, and he delivers a fly ball. Harrison will try to make a throw here, but it's not even close, and the Yankees quickly retie the game. We get Bo Shears out of there and bring in Jake Reed, who's making his 7th appearance. Runner at second, just trying to end the inning. 1-2. There's the fastball inside. He gets a lot of strikeouts. I wanted to see Raisel Iglesias save every game in this series, but that would take an 8th inning run, and that we could not get. Let's go into the 9th. Jake Reed stays in. 0-2 count. Saunders strikes out on 3 pitches. That was his worst at-bat of the series. Then Judge with 2 down, and Aaron Judge didn't do much damage against us. Fly ball into shallow right. We'll go bottom 9. Twins looking to win the game. Charlie Blackmon strikes out quickly. His offensive struggles continue as he hits under 200. And speaking of under 200 averages, Byron Buxton got to lead off this game 0 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He had a very patient start to this at-bat, but then once again a 2-strike count. 2-2 and driven deep to left center. Buxton wins the game. Walk-off win to clinch the sweep over the Yankees, and that's how this one ends. Warren leaves a pitch up, and Byron Buxton does not miss. I've been working more on his plate vision and making sure we get more solid contact, and it's still a work in progress. But the potential is there. We know it is. Byron Buxton ends up driving home 3 runs in this game. He had a couple lucky at-bats where some weak ground balls weren't a big deal. But this one, no luck. Not required to win the game. Byron Buxton gets his chance, and while he might not have had the best game, he at least gives us the game-winning walk-off. Just imagine this offense if Byron becomes a more consistent hitter. Jake Reed gets the win in this outing, his second of the season, which is more than some of our starters. And we didn't really have the most prolific offensive day from either side, as the aces did their jobs. But the Twins win all three. We then split a little road series against the Detroit Tigers and then head down to Tampa. And we take the first two away from the Rays. But then Yunel Escobar breaks his hand as we win again. 4 wins in a row. And now I'll have to make a roster move, and we all know what our infield situation is like down in the minors. We'll get there in a moment. Here are some of the box scores. Blackman, Cruz, and Rosario all hit home runs, helping lift Maxwell Fowler to his 3rd victory of the season. Then here was the win against the Rays. We win 7-3 with 16 hits. And Jose Barrios has a fantastic start. And in the very next game, an even better start from Yadier Alvarez, who goes 8 with 8 strikeouts. So a really good episode here for the Twins, a whole bunch of winning. We're now 15-6 on the season. But I do need to make a roster move now with the injury to Yunel Escobar. And I think that it might finally be time for Nick Gordon to get the call up. Is it time to finally bring him up to the bigs for his debut? He was fantastic in the spring, and he's hitting .269 down there right now. The options would be either him or A-Ray Adrianza, who's actually hitting close to .400 right now. Jorge Polanco might start at shortstop, or we could try to get Nick Gordon in there. So I have a decision to make. Is now the time with Gordon, or do we let him continue to play down at AAA and try to develop his game even more so? We have Mitch Garver hitting .315 right now at catcher. Byron Buxton won us a game today. Like, the whole offense is doing such a nice job at the moment. Even when, like, Paul Goldschmidt hardly did anything against the Yankees. He's still fine, by the way. The average is still in the high 300s. Here are the AAA numbers. There are the stats for Adrianza, who's hitting the ball really well. So who do you think deserves the call-up? Adrianza or Nick Gordon? It's a really tough decision because I'm not sure either player is going to all of a sudden become a starter, although they could beat out Jorge Polanco, who hasn't always been the best hitter in this series but does play some good defense. So I'll look at the comments and make a decision for next episode, and also let me know which series you'd like to see here. I don't think I'd play all 4 of the games against Los Angeles, but if you want to see that series, I could play 2 or 3 of them. Leave your feedback below for next episode, and I will see you all next time. Thank you all for watching. Please smash that like button, leave all your feedback down below, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.